A sudden spark in the dark shattered an ordinary night. Patricia, a focused marketing executive, watched a stray ember land on the floor of her sparsely furnished apartment. An unseen force had intruded into her ordered life, a contrast to the silence inside Patricia's small apartment, hinted at secrets buried under a veneer of normality. On a routine lunch break, she discovered an antique board hidden among trinkets in a cramped shop. Its planchette and faded symbols stirred something in her, an irresistible pull toward the unknown. That night, Patricia cleared her dining table and arranged the board at its center. A few candles provided a dim light, enough to outline the board's weathered surface. She rested her fingers on the planchette. For long minutes, nothing happened. Her heartbeat steadied as disappointment crept in. Planchette moved slowly, as if pushed by a hidden hand, and spelled a single word: "Hello." She explained the movement as a trick of her own mind, a misinterpretation of muscle memory. Yet she could not ignore the conviction that an unknown presence had reached out. In the following nights, Patricia devoted herself to the board. Each session deepened her conviction that the entity on the other side, named Zarathos in the silent language of the board, was real and troubled. A presence claimed to be trapped between two worlds and sought Patricia's help. The promise of forbidden knowledge provided a stark contrast to the mundanity of corporate meetings and spreadsheets, but subtle changes soon unsettled her. Her moods swung sharply between rare moments of clarity. The ordered rhythm of her life cracked. Colleagues noted Patricia's growing pallor and distracted manner. Her once steady performance faltered under inexplicable stress. Her interactions grew brief, distant. Creeping dread replaced the initial thrill of contact. An oppressive weight settled on her chest. It brought nightmares of shifting shadows and formless shapes. The planchette moved with relentless force, spelling out a demand. "Your body, your soul." The words repeated. "Your body, your soul." Each iteration digging a deeper wound into her fragile balance. She felt trapped in a loop of dark intent. In the days that followed, the boundary between her waking life and the realm of the unknown blurred. Patricia caught sight of dark shapes at the edge of her vision. A reflection that did not quite match her own eyes lingered for too long. Every small movement in the shadows made her heart pound. Patricia's behavior grew erratic. She abandoned routine meetings and skipped work without explanation. The polished image she maintained in public crumbled into a solitary figure haunted by internal conflict. One night, driven by mounting terror and the urge to reclaim control, Patricia faced the board with a cold resolve. The planchette moved immediately, its letters urging submission. The demand was clear. The entity would not leave her in peace. It required complete surrender, a merging of her identity with its own dark essence. In that moment, fear eclipsed her lingering hope. In a final, desperate bid to free herself, Patricia acted with grim determination. She scattered small fires throughout her apartment. The flames grew swiftly, consuming mementos of a life once carefully curated. As the blaze advanced, she moved through the inferno with a fixed purpose, her eyes reflecting both terror and resolve. Every step was a forced choice. Emergency crews later found the building shrouded in smoke, and the interior a chaos of heat and ash. In the midst of the raging flames, Patricia lay still, her arms outstretched as if offering herself to an unseen power. She was rushed to a hospital with severe burns. In the sterile quiet of a hospital room, Patricia's battle reached its bitter conclusion. Her mind remained locked against the shadow that had overtaken her. The force that once spoke through the board lingered, unyielding in its claim. The erratic behavior, the haunted look in her eyes, spoke of a conflict that had raged in silence and darkness. Patricia slipped into a state where consciousness flickered and presence had not been banished by flames or despair. Book fell open to pages that spoke of ancient, unyielding mysteries. Patricia's story spread quietly among those who knew of her fate. A board that once beckoned to her now sat untouched, its secrets a burden to anyone tempted to revisit its power. The balance between the known and the unknown had been irrevocably disturbed, leaving behind a residue of dread that could never be fully explained, a reminder that some doors, once opened, remain forever ajar.